Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Check.
On first down, Albert. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
2nd and 6. Looking left side, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Come on. Tight. Watch left. Tight.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And the big boys up front. They're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Early down steps will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now this throw caught left side. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
2nd and 15. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback.
Mike 54. I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage 2nd and 10 coming up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 10.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The end result, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now back to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? It's a quarterback sneak. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Looking to run with Mack. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Marlon Mack, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy.
Next to score, Colts 7, Browns 0. Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off for the
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. from the gun. It's a give to Chubb. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
They run again on first down. Chubb. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Seibert on for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
2nd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Pass. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist. Check 3. Hey, alert, alert.
Now it's Rosen. It's caught by OBJ. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Where's 52? Watch 52. 52's the mic.
They'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
16 yards. And the Colts first down.
Ready, set, check, 56,
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Well, he's got a big leg. And when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Well, going deep here for Taylor. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rosen, he finds Taylor, complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll set up a throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Hey, alert, alert. Middle. 50, Mike 50. Who that? Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Tighten up.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Come on,
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Say. Check. 51 to Mike, boy, 51.
Back to throw here. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And now it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to go for it all. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the 2nd half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
I got him.
They run it again with Chubb. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go, here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Albert. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here we go, here we go. Man, read. Like 50. Rotate, get back. Ball trot. Nickel.
They'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Watch 54. Hey, let's get in that hole. Motion. Hey, one set.
And again, it's Chubb. Stiff-armed him. Oh, breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
54 Mike. Hey, watch the slant.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Colts 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now a run with Mack. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, Albert, and he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you've got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. A nice job of just sticking the helmet down 9 yards on the play, but still 3rd and 12 now.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
52's the mic, boys. 52. Y'all not ready.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Beckham, the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. A big play that time out of Chubb, 42 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
He's not going to get me.
Out of the pistol look, it's Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
54 Mike. Watch the run.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down forthcoming. Seibert able to knock this one through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He'll look to throw. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll keep it on the ground. Albert, 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Colts on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. He'll drop to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Hey, I got it. Hot something. 52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's the mic. In your face.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
180. Three buzz.
And they will take a knee here.
Rosen on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Get ready.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Rosen on the keeper. Today's final score, Browns.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel